right. So I am joined now by Mr. Mudkip. I don't know why I'm calling you Mr. Mudkip. I'll probably just call you Mudkip. And that is the resident Slayer today. And we're going to be talking about Slayers in PvP. So let's get a little bit of an introduction from you. How long have you been playing the Slayer?
Alright, so I've been playing this Slayer for, as of today, 278 days, 17 hours, and 51 minutes. Over a period since May of 2012, the beta? Or the open, no, the head start.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you've been here since the very beginning.
I've been here since the very beginning, and closed betas.
So that answers my next question, which was, how long have you been playing Terra?
Yeah, there you go.
So why do you play Slayer? What makes Slayer so fun to you?
Because, in the beginning, Slayers used to be, I don't know, Slayers just used to be really strong, and I like two-handed swords. It was just a really cool class that I wanted to play. I didn't want to play Archer or anything else. I was like, oh man, Slayer looks cool. So here I am.
Have you dabbled in other classes and just keep coming back to Slayer?
So when I play MMOs, I don't really make other alts, but I have a Lancer, a Reaper, and a dot level up Archer.
That's fair.
But other than that, I don't have anything.
I'm actually very similar to that. I don't like making multiple characters, which means I'm really, really bad at all classes and then slightly better than bad, but still pretty bad at one class.
Yeah.
So these streams are always very helpful to me because I would say out of all the classes in Terra, healers and the Slayer are probably the ones I understand the least. So this will be good for me.
Yeah.
So I see you are in No Fun Allowed. How long have you been in that guild?
So I joined No Fun Allowed in the beginning of the game, and then some things happened, and I joined Shatter, and Shatter died. Then I took a break. Then I went to Blacklist, and then I didn't play much during VM3, so I came back, and I just joined back to No Fun Allowed.
Oh, cool.
So I guess I've been in here for about a year or so for total game time.
Okay. So it's been pretty much your home for the most time that you've been playing in Terra.
Yeah.
And so I see that I believe you're on one of the teams. I've been going through the teams submitted to Skyring Slam. I believe you're on one of those teams. Am I correct?
Yes, I am. I am on team Meme Machine, Slayer, Lancer, and Priest.
Awesome. And you've been in some of the other tournaments in the past too. How do you fare in those?
So for every Freywind Canyon game, team, I was second place, third place, and then I forget what place we were in for the recent one. Skyring Slam, I got, I destroyed the first round, and then I got destroyed by DT in the second round.
Fair enough. So we're gonna be doing, and then I told the stream you probably weren't you weren't on call, so you probably didn't hear. But next week we're gonna be doing the seeding for the teams in Skyring Slam on Wednesday at 4 o'clock Pacific. So basically an hour before right now is when we would be doing the seeding next week.
Oh, that's good.
And I'm going to announce which teams have been accepted into the tournament this week. Hopefully this week. The plan is by Friday. There's a lot of teams in there, so I know there's going to be a lot of heartache having to reject so many teams because there's a lot of interest, which means we can do more tournaments because so many people want to play, which is cool. So if you don't get accepted into this tournament, do understand that we're looking at more tournaments in the future, of course. So let's get on with talking about the Slayer. Enough of this Skyring Slam stuff. We'll talk about it later.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about just the basics of the gear. So I talked to you a little bit earlier, and we were talking about rolls on the gear, and you said that your rolls aren't exactly perfect. But let's talk about what kind of rolls people should be going for on their gear, what kind of crystals, and we'll kind of go through that stuff fairly quickly.
All right. So
sometimes boring.
Let's start with the weapon. For the weapon, you will want flat attack percent, back damage, the 6.9, and you'll need 0.3 crit damage for PvP. Now the last roll, it can either be attack speed or cooldown, depending on your playstyle. Most people run attack speed, back damage, attack mod, and crit damage, which is okay. But it's all about your playstyle. Alright, let's go on to the boots.
Your boots should have slowing effects, endurance, and move speed. It's just boots. That's what most people run on the boots. For gloves, gloves are universal. Most people run power, crit rate, and attack speed on their gloves. And for the chest, the two things you need to roll on the chest are flat HP percent and flat damage reduction. The other two are luxuries. You can do HP regen. Most people in this meta do KD damage, and you can do frontal. That's a really good one. So any of those work. And for your accessory, for your Zerk's verse, there's a lot of people who do two crit and two griefing. You can either do that, or you can do full griefing. It's up to you. And I think that's all the crystals. Yeah.
Okay. So my Zerks are definitely wrong, I think. I just picked up crit rate. I just got pure
No,
crit
that's
rate.
okay. That's okay. Some people you can do that for equalize, because in CS equalize, crit rate's pretty good.
Okay. So I guess I don't have the worst then, but for people that are
No.
looking to gear out, listen to what Mudkip's got. All right. So for the accessories themselves, the rolls on them that you're looking for. So death-wise, you're gonna have to get random. You're not gonna be able to roll. But what are you looking for on the accessories? I have max HP and like decreased duration of stun effects. Is that
Yeah,
in line?
that's pretty much how it's been for 2-something odd years. Max HP. Well, I don't think we had. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we had max HP and stun duration. You run that, and for your rings, you want to run crit damage and crit rate if you can get it. But it's pretty hard to get those.
Fair enough. Okay. And then crystals on chest, I had just pure HP, max HP. Is that right?
For crystal, it depends on, because depending on how aggressive you are, you're probably gonna run out of mana eventually, because in order to kill someone, you have to land every skill on them as usual. But if you have, say, a double team that's pressuring you, having a what is this? A grieving crux or Niviet. Yes, that's what it is. Having a grieving Niviet will allow you to get some mana back while you're under pressure. The same thing with the salivating Niviet. So it's if you're doing Freywind or GVG, you usually want to run full Relentless because you're either gonna get killed in one hit, or you're not gonna use it. You're not gonna get enough potential out of the Cruxes.
Okay.
So that's what you're doing.
I see. So it's pretty much like you're going to be using different ones in different situations. But so let's talk about, I guess, 3v3 then. In a 3v3, is there like a definite set of crystals that you want to use in your chest?
For chest,
Yeah.
the basics are the 3 Relentless, 1 Grieving for sure. I use a Resolute because when you're focused, that 10% when you're under 50 will actually save you, because when you get Giga Rain cheesed by Reaper or Archer, that 10% can be the difference between you hitting the ground or you escaping with 2% HP.
Oh, okay. So there's I guess there's a couple different sets, but
Yeah.
all right. And then for the chest, I don't know who I copied for the, or not the chest, the weapon. I don't know who I copied. I think I might have copied PvE. But in any case, I have a Cruel Niviet, Savage, a Forceful, and then I have a Resolute Salivating Niviet. What should people be looking for on the weapons?
For what? Dyads or Niviets? Because Dyads are different.
Let's just talk about Niviets, because I think for the most part, people who
Dyads
are
are
already
fine.
working on Dyads probably know what they're looking for. I think Niviets are probably going to be for players that are newer or someone just getting started, which we should probably focus on, I think.
All right, so for the very crucial ones, you will want Savage and Forceful. For this meta, Cruel is very good because most of the time you're gonna want the person on the ground after you hit them from the back, and then the Salivating Nivea is really good because if you try and stagger combo or do a long chain, it's gonna run your mana dry, and then when you get mana volleyed, mana drained, mana siphoned by a Sork, you're in trouble. So
the crystal setup you have is perfectly fine. Some people want to switch to salivating for possibly a virulent or a carving Niviet. It's all up to you. Just how your playstyle is. If you're aggressive, salivating's really good. But if you're super aggressive and you have some way of keeping your mana up without having to auto attack more than 10 times, then carving's really good. And for virulent, that's if you run a KD comp or you use a lot of KDs mostly, because that poison does add up.
Okay. Fair enough. All right, cool. So we kind of talked about crystals there, and if people have specific questions about crystals a little bit later, we like to go through them fairly quickly because I think a lot of people understand crystals. But for people that are newer, it's good to hear that stuff. And if you have questions, feel free to ask them later. So let's talk about etchings as well. So I've got a few etchings on my pieces, but usually people have like one specific type of etching that they recommend for PvP.
All right, so for Slayers, your boots and your chest should ideally have unyieldings, because in this meta, crit resist is king because you don't want to crit for all your health. Well, that's actually for every game, but yes, you can. There's no point in running the endurance etchings. You'd want to run unyieldings. For your weapons and gloves, I've seen people run 1 power, 1 energetic. Most people run 2 energetics, but at a certain point, you can have too much attack speed, and eventually you won't put out enough damage, as we're going to see in the 3v3 tournament. If you run full attack speed and you have no damage, well, good luck killing the healers. But yeah, so I would recommend 1 energetic, 1 power etching, or double energetics.
Okay, and that's what I've got on too. So if people are watching and they're wondering, what is he talking about? I have done the pumped etching, which you can see right above the rolls, the +3, +6, +9. If you're new to where this stuff is located at, pumped etching on the gloves, and then energetic on the weapon. All right, so let's talk about PvP mentality. So basically the play style of the Slayer. If you were to... Oh, you having a problem? He says 1 sec. I think we're going to kill some time. So, this is the Slayer, if you didn't know.
Sorry. Hi, hello. Okay, so PvP mentality and what?
PvP mentality and kind of like the angles, I guess, that you should be taking as a Slayer. Not in a specific term like, oh, what angle, 90 degrees? No, I mean, I'm talking like...
So for what? For all situations? Or what?
We'll start off with 3v3, and then I know a lot of people, the more casual players or players getting started with playing Terra, are probably not going to jump into 3v3 because it's kind of a scary place for a new player to be. So we'll talk about that stuff. Let's start with 3v3. What's the mentality for Slayers? How should you be acting?
Okay, so Slayers in 3v3 are the carry. You make the plays, you dish out the damage, you burst, and you make or break your team. You are the focus. The other sides know you are a threat. They are aware of you. They will try to kill you. They know you are squishy, and if you don't defend yourself or dodge well, they know you will die very quickly. And you are the annoyance. You stick to your targets like glue. You pressure, and you pressure, and you pressure, and you don't let your opponents make plays, and you peel well for your team when the heat is on. So, overall, you decide with your team, how do you want to do it? So, generally, most Slayers go straight for the healer, because Slayers can dish out an unbelievable amount of damage with ICB and a full crit string. That'll usually 100 roll the healer if they're not ready. But, as I said, you are very fragile. Reapers can instantly kill you. Lancers can instantly kill you. Archers can crit you in the back. So you have to watch out for that with good dodges and good skill maneuvers. Right?
That's fair. So basically, like, you treat it more as an assassin type than anything else, I suppose, right?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. We're paper thin assassins.
Okay. Which is different, because I know there's a lot of other classes that I've talked to, specifically like Berserkers, which also can pump out a decent amount of damage, but they don't really consider themselves assassins. Would you say that, and I'm just going to throw something out there, would you say that Slayers are kind of like a combination between the stickiness of like a warrior and then like the DPS output of something, I don't know, like I don't know what to compare the Slayer to in terms of DPS, but is it more like you play the Slayer more like a warrior than anything else?
It depends on your playstyle. Most people want to play like a Zerker. A Zerker that's more mobile with a sword. That's really what a Slayer is, except can't block and we can dodge. We have the damage of a Zerker, and now in this patch we have the mobility of a warrior. So it's kind of a combination of both.
Okay.
We deal a lot of damage.
Very cool. Okay. So then for talking about how paper thin and very you get focused on and you can be killed very quickly and easily, when you are participating in something like Canyon, the Freywin Canyon, or if you're talking about like Corsairs, there's so many people. How should you be acting as a Slayer then?
All right, so for Corsairs, if you're new to the game, I suggest you man a tank, because Corsairs is an objective-based game. Killing the gates and capturing the points is better than killing 6 people over there. But if you really want to kill people in Corsairs, your top priority should be killing healers and knocking down everyone as much as you can, because just because you break their retaliate once and they run away doesn't mean the person next to you isn't going to knock them down again. So your utility that you provide from the knockdown actually does a lot more than you think. And honestly, in Corsairs, if you really want to kill people, you probably can kill them with a spacebar combo over and over and over again. But if you're a new person, use the tanks, capture the pyres, guard the ladders. Alright, so with Freywin's a little different. Most people, or I'm pretty sure 95%, they all do the mid fight. You all run in, 14 people mid, 1 person in the other place. Giga is what happens 99% of the time. So you will want to, as a Slayer, you can either A, if you trust the Lancer next to you, you can go Whirlwind stun the Giga and kill everyone. Or you can start going on their backline, the healers, swords, archers, and just disrupt them so that they don't drop their AoEs on your Giga and everyone doesn't die. And I think that's everything about Freewin. Other than you kill people, guard the pyres with your knockdowns, because knockdowns are really good, and make sure you can snipe the PvE monster. So that's what Freewin's about.
What would you say is in the more objective-based level, so Freewind and Corsairs, what would you say is probably the most important skill in the Slayer's arsenal?
The most important skill in the game for Slayers right now is your dodge roll, because you have 2 of them. You can use them once every 4 seconds, or you can use it twice in a very quick succession, but it's on a 4-second cooldown. You can use it very quickly, and so that there's almost no vulnerable times or moments as a Slayer. You can backstab, roll forward, roll backwards, and you're at their back if they turn around. So if you know how to roll, then you pretty much can beat most of the people in the game that are at lower levels, because they don't know how to fight 2 rolls.
Okay, so then if you're a new Slayer, probably jumping in level 65 for the first time going into PvP, look at your roll. Just roll as much as you can, I guess, to avoid as much damage as possible. And would you say that you use roll more frequently to get positioning than just using like WASD?
It depends on who you're fighting. 1v1, you use your roll a lot to run out of a lot of things. You use it to outposition Zerkers and Lancers, because block is very hard to fight head on. You use it to just get closer to the healer, because rolling twice relieves a lot of pressure on your healer and removes a lot of cooldowns if the other team's trying to kill you, because 2 rolls just save your life and kill the other healer. Life was full.
Okay, so that's fair. All right, so let's talk about. I like that you brought up 1v1. So I actually do want to talk about 1v1, and I ask a lot of classes this, and I always love hearing the players' answers. Are there particular classes that Slayers totally excel at in 1v1, and then are there ones that Slayers just have the hardest time at in 1v1 situations?
Okay, so for me, in terms of rating from easiest class to worst class to beat, first is Archer. Archer is really easy to beat as long as you don't get kick stunned like an idiot, like I do sometimes. Second is Sork, because 3 of your skills go through their painful trap and you just tenacity in their stun trap. Next would be Warrior. Warrior's just a mind game. You have to count the 21-second clock of backstab, combo them more than they combo you, and tenacity right. Lancer is okay. Personally, for me, I can beat Lancers more than Reapers. Right. So Lancers is a really big DPS check, because for every combo that they hit you with, you are that much closer to dying. That's universal, but Lancers can heal up with Second Wind, Iron Will, and a leash, spacebar combo you, and then kill you eventually. And for Reapers, well, Reapers are just, I don't know. I have no comment for Reapers. They're really annoying. How about that? We'll put it like that. Their Whipsaw hurts a lot. I got crit for 50k Whipsaw.
Oh man.
But other than that, I don't think I missed any classes. Healers don't really count. But for healers, I guess priests are easier for me to kill than mystics.
Okay. And how about then? So we're talking what's that?
Oh yeah, Zerkers. I forgot. Zerkers are somewhere in the middle. Near Lancers. All right, carry on.
Fair enough. Okay. So with that's 1v1 situations, 3v3s. What for a newer player? What kind of class makeup or composition, I suppose, would probably be a better word, should players be looking for to play as a Slayer? Like, what classes do you excel with?
So for this patch, I would say having a Lancer or having a Reaper is probably your best bet as a Slayer, because Lancers give you all the utility with Rallying Cry, Leash, Giga, and just their soul damage output. For Reapers are just, if a Lancer had 2 dashes and a Sork AoE and 10 times damage. So for those two are the best. For healer wise, for newer players, I would recommend a Priest, because Priests have a huge safety net in terms of heals and their buffs. Mystics are more offensive, but Mystics are a tempo-based class. If you don't have the tempo, if you lose the tempo from the beginning, you're going to have a hard time catching back up, because Mystics do eventually run out of mana really fast if you're under pressure. Their heals aren't as good as a Priest.
Okay. That's okay. So, are there classes that really just don't work then with Slayers?
By don't work, you mean viable? Because every class is viable in 3s, but I don't think there's any classes. I guess the class that won't work as well. No, there are no classes. There are no combinations. As long as you can play well, as long as you have good communication between the other person. Like Sork, you can 100-0 someone in a second with Fire Blast, Hard Thrust. Archer, you can do Trap, Kick, Hard Thrust, Rain. Zerker in this meta has 1 million knockdowns, and you have 3 knockdowns, so you can chain someone to death. And yeah, Warrior. Okay, so Slayer Warrior is one of the scariest healer killing comps. I don't think it's as good as it was before, but 2 backstabs, combative strike, and just a whole lot of damage make Warrior Slayer one of my favorite combos to play with.
So you could say then that Slayer players should feel fine teaming up with anybody that they feel comfortable with, I guess, to get started in 3v3s.
Yeah, as long as if it's a friend you know, or someone good that you play with, there's no harm in going into 3s, and like, you don't really want to expect to win. Yes, you want to win, but you go into 3s at the beginning to learn. You don't go in to be amazing.
And I think that's what a lot of players could use a little more motivation towards, is playing in 3v3s. And that's what I kind of hope the 3v3 tournament, last year when we did the tournament, I was hoping that it would help. but there's a lot of players who avoid 3v3s because it feels very serious. But people should feel confident to just jump in and just have fun with it. Because you'll start off playing people against like yourself. If you start getting good, then you'll start playing against the people you watch streaming. Not me, though.
Yeah.
You'll probably never fight me because I'll be so low in the bracket.
Oh, you should do solo Q3s.
I should. I am terrible in PvP. I am
It's
just
okay. I was terrible. I was awful when I started. I still am awful, but not as awful. All right.
So I'm gonna share the. I forgot one of the things that I forgot to do at the top of the stream was to share the glyphs that you have. I think this gets goofed up, so let me change this to a smaller link because whenever I share the actual Terra Today glyph calculator link, sometimes it makes faces out of the link itself. So I'm gonna shorten it real quick. So
Sure, no problem.
let me do that. All right, let me copy that and put it in there. All right, so let me. Mudkip glyphs. All right, so I shared that in chat. So for people that wanted to see, we'll also have a link to the glyphs in the highlights and when we put it up on YouTube as well. We won't really go through the glyphs unless there's anything particular that you wanted to talk about, but it's just a good place to share the glyphs. Okay, so. We've got a friend up here. Is there any sort of demonstration for a newer player or any sort of like class that a newer player should really be focusing on? We talked about making sure that they roll and that they're focusing on rolling, but in PvP, is there a particular type of skill set that players should be looking at?
All right. So for the basics, are you assuming that this person is 65, just fresh 65, or what?
Yeah, we'll say 65. I know some players will have questions. They'll have questions and they'll ask the questions like, oh, I'm level 48. What's the best stuff for leveling? But we'll wait for that a little bit later. In about 15 minutes, we'll start taking questions from chat. So let's assume the player is 65.
All right. So the basic combo. This is called the spacebar combo. All right. So for 65, you backstab, auto attack, kick, hard thrust. Okay. So from here. It depends on what you want. Do you want to knock them out immediately or not? So you would either do overhand or you would do hard thrust eviscerate measured. That is the basic spacebar combo. In Corsairs, if you have power buff and a power charm, you will probably do massive, terrible damage to them. It will... See, okay, so on Should, I did 56% damage on 15 with this 12 sword. In Corsairs, everything's equalized. You'll probably do 80% of their health with the crits. Probably, if you have ICB up, you'll do 120% of their health and kill them. And move on next person. Alright, so for... I guess this is just the teaching section, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so for Slayer, you have 3 abilities that prevent staggers. You have Whirlwind, you have Knockdown Strike, and you have Hard Thrust. All 3 of these will prevent you from getting staggered or knocked down. This is why Slayer is really good, because with Tenacity, I'll look it up, but Tenacity is a 5-second skill that prevents all stuns from applying to you. This doesn't save you from everything. So if you Tenacity backstab combo someone, unless they have some way of killing you or they time their CCs well, you're probably going to do massive damage. Now, let's get into the staggers. For staggers, you have auto attack. The first auto attack.
I think you got. Hold on. I think you got kind of quiet.
Hello?
Oh, there you are. For some reason, I think whenever I stop talking, the mic auto adjusts and you get super quiet. Sorry.
Alright, so where did it get quiet on?
It got quiet right before this last combo. Like right before you hit Should. I think you were explaining the next combo, and that's when I couldn't hear you.
Okay, so you have 3 staggers in the game. Staggers are a mini flinch. It's a flinch. They
Right.
can't do anything during that time. So for Slayer, your first auto attack is the stagger. Note that the second auto attack is not a stagger. So you can do auto attack. You can any other ability, Tenacity, Triumph Shell, Dash, Overpower, will reset your auto attack. Also Distant Blade. So you use that if you want to pressure healers, stop CCs from occurring, and pretty much it's also your mana skill, because Slayers have decaying mana.
Okay.
and you use auto attacks to get your mana back. So so for the next one, Fury Strike is a very versatile skill. Use it to stagger people, and if you're under 50 in a duel, you can use it to probably kill them in one shot because it does a lot of damage depending on how low you are. If you're at 1% health, you can crit for 40k on a 1v1. And if you're in 33 and you can somehow get a Fury Strike off, well, they're probably dead. Alright, so you have to note that with Fury Strike, it depends on what race you are. For Ellen has the longest Fury Strike. Every race has a different range, mostly within 3 to 4 meters of gap closing.
Yeah.
And for Fury Strike, it applies a 50% heal debuff. So if you combo a healer, the good thing to do is Fury Strike them, because most likely a healer will use an escape ability or cleanse. But if they try and heal with a heal debuff, it's 50% less heals, which is really good for you. But the bad thing about Fury Strike is it's 300 mana. 300 mana is almost 1/8 of your entire mana bar. So if you're with it, well, you're kind of in trouble. But it's a really good skill. Alright, so with the 65 patch of Slayer, the single skill that has made Slayer into the monster it is now is Eviscerate Jawbreaker. It is by far the strongest skill in the Slayer's arsenal. It is a 10-second or 8 seconds when you glyph it. It has
and I don't have the glyphs. Just for people out there, just letting them know, I don't have the glyphs all set up correctly. I just did recommended glyphs. I didn't set them up, but I shared in chat right now the glyph setup that Mudkip recommends. So check that out. Don't use what I'm using. And if you're watching the VOD, it'll be in the highlights and it'll be in the YouTube description. Sorry, go ahead.
Right. So Eviscerate has 2942 base mod plus 735 mod when you glyph it. That's a lot of damage for one skill. If you hit someone in the back with it, for example, it does 9.8k, and then Hearthrust does 8.8k. Both these are glyph for damage. Now, if you combo that together, most people do kick, Hearthrust, Eviscerate, Overhand, Measured. If all of them crit, you're looking at 70, 80, 90k damage depending on how many buffs you have.
Yeah, wow.
Now for Eviscerate, if you just hardcast it, like just press the button, it'll stagger them as you see. That's your third stagger. You can use it if someone's approaching you for some reason, and they don't expect that. You can go like, bam, Eviscerate. Now if you chain it with anything, if you go Leaping Eviscerate, I don't have it, but if you go Leaping Eviscerate, Knockdown Eviscerate, basically Eviscerate chains from everything besides Fury Strike. The same thing with Overhand chains from everything but Fury Strike, and Eviscerate chains into Overhand. So you can do Overhand, Eviscerate, Overhand with your resets, which is really good. Now,
so you were talking about mana, just real quick. You were talking about mana and the cost of it. What's the best way to actually get mana back in the middle of a fight then? Is it just to auto attack?
So generally your healer, if you have a priest and you have good tempo, he'll be mana infused, giving you mana charges. But the primary way is with your Salivating Crux or a Niviate. Whenever you hit someone with that Niviate, it'll give you a little bit of mana back. And you can use Trident Shout and Tenacity to get mana back, but you should save Tenacity for when you're about to go in hard. But for your auto attacks, if you're really, really low on mana and someone's on the ground, you can just auto attack them a bunch of times and get your mana back, and then run away.
And that way you can get enough mana for your next combo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see what else. Alright, so let's go. Okay, so if you are a new player and you want to play Slayer, there's a warning I will have to give you. So, Slayers have, well, actually most classes, all classes have a random stun timer. Yes, this is bad, but so for example, you can't see if she actually got out. For all your combos, there's a small chance of you not being able to pull a full Hearthrust Measured off or backhand measure. So you have to account for the kind of randomness of it. But that's just something you have to deal with. I don't know. But just make sure so your primary two stuns, kick, startling kick, and backhand should be used either depending on what your strategy is. If you're trying to peel, backhand is the best
my god. Okay, but backhand is the best peel you have because it changes the eviscerate. You knock him down and save your healer from getting murdered by some. Kick, you should always try and save kick as much as you can because kick, your starting kick is your setup. Sure. It is your everything. You go Fury kick, auto kick, backstab kick, and everything. It set up all your combos. All right, so I think I went over most of the stuff for utility. Okay, so for utility wise, you have Headlong Rush. Now, okay, so with Headlong Rush, it'll speed up the next ability really fast, 50%, 75%, I think now.
And I'll show off Headlong Rush here too. Right. And I think I'm gonna probably say a couple of things every once in a while because the mic does keep resetting. So
sorry.
I'm trying to find a way to make the microphone like the quality changes. It's really weird. Anyways, so I'll just try and interject something here and there.
You hear me?
Yeah, you're good. You're good now. It's like only when I talk, after like 30 seconds, then your mic gets lower and then it starts to get muffled. It's strange. Anyways, I'll just if I start saying things that don't sound like they're all that helpful, like if I'm just like, oh yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Everyone, you gotta start somewhere, Tonka. I'm gonna make you into rank 1 Skyrim master by the end of this. All right.
Yeah, sure. All
right, so let's continue. Okay, so for Headlong Rush, it'll speed up your next ability by 6%. 6% attack speed. So most people use it for chasing people. So say, okay, hold up. Okay, so if I knock her down, right, and then she runs away, you can Headlong Rush her. As long as you have your little target reticle on the person, it will lock onto them, and you can actually chase Mystics, Priests, everyone with this. If they're Archer backsteps, if they're Sword Johns, you can Headlong Rush them and kick them in the face. All right.
Let's see, how long is that? It's pretty far. It's pretty far.
Headlong Rush is very far. It is 16, 17 meters. As long as you can hold onto them, you will go towards them.
So if you have somebody selected that's less than that distance, you actually just go right to the target?
It's just if you have the little target on them. If you have the target on them, and you just press it, it'll just go straight to them. If you're fighting someone, you'll just stop right there. So if you were to dual should,
because you'll hit them.
She's there, you'll stop right there and collide with them, and you get auto whatever.
That makes sense.
So let's see. With backstab, okay, backstab. The primary issue that people mess up, yes, crosshair. Thank you, doll. The primary issue people mess up with backstab is when do you use it? When do you want to use it? So backstab, contrary to popular belief, if you're fighting someone who knows Slayer, the best thing to do is not to backstab first. But if you're fighting someone inexperienced or a new person, they don't know how to deal with backstab. Just backstab, spacebar, combo, kill them. But for backstab, you should use it as utility. The first thing you should try to do as Slayer is fight without backstab. If you can fight without backstab and you can effectively fight someone without having to resort to backstab as your opener, you can go really far. So for backstab, if a healer gets knocked down and you backstab them, they'll actually be rooted here unless they're a mystic, because mystics will just fly somewhere else, but they'll be rooted there, and you can go leaping, eviscerate, and knock them down. So if you do glyph backstab though, it'll go from a 25-second cooldown to a 20% cooldown, or 20-second cooldown, which coincides with your kick, your backhand, so you can do a 20-second cooldown cycle to keep the pressure. That's just, it depends on how you want to glyph. Okay, so I'll go over 3 skills. Okay, so you have End Cold Blood, right? End Cold Blood is the cancer of Slayer. I'm not even joking. Pre-patch, End Cold Blood kills people instantly because it does 1 million damage. So End Cold Blood, if you cast Overhand, it does double damage. You get 8% attack speed and 29 power. 29 power, if you have a 15 weapon, is a lot of damage. More damage than you could ever imagine, because power scales off of attack.
So you said with Overhand it deals double damage?
Yes. It's called Ultimate Overhand Strike. It turns blue. And okay, so Slayers have a 50% chance to reset Overhand with a glyph.
when you have ICB up in Cold Blood, it'll reset every time you cast it, so you can do 1,000,000 damage with your combo.
Oh.
And you go super fast, and the thing to note about ICB is that it's a warning sign above your head, almost like the priest's 5-minute cooldown, saying, "Look at me, I'm about to kill your healer right now. What are you gonna do about it?" No, I'm not joking. It happens every time. You have to select the Slayer in a 3v3 match and see if you cast ICB. If you cast ICB, you're gonna do everything that you can to stop that Slayer from murdering your healer right there, because if you don't, he's gonna kill in 2 seconds. Alright, so you want to use it either right out the door if you know you're gonna try and kill someone, or if you have the tempo. I'll use tempo a lot because it's a good word. So say that your priest, plague, mystic regress them, and you have a good combo on them, they're at like 60%. Now for Slayers, kill percent is at 70%. You can kill someone at 70%, 80%, 60% really easily if you can combo correctly. With ICB, yes, right there. ICB, you can go like hard thrust, eviscerate, overhand again, measured, backhand measured, or backhand overhand, kick, overhand, thrust, overhand, and 1,000,000, and so on and so forth, because it's amazing. Now, you just have to watch out when you have it. Alright, so let's go with Distant Blade. Distant Blade is your one of 2 range skills. It shoots 3 bolts, like that. The range is 15 meters. You have to target them, but it's a little bit generous, but you have to at least see the little 6 meter, 10 meter mark, and they're level 65.
Does Distant Blade stagger?
No, it does not stagger. Wait, it used to knock people down though, which was really funny, but not anymore. Alright, so the first 2 Distant Blades will carry you a little bit forward, right? The third one will carry you forward, but you see you have a little animation lock. So you can auto, Distant Blade, auto, that's 1 stagger combo, or you just shoot 1,000,000 Distant Blades and walk forward. This will also help you while you're gyred, because Sork's gyre prevents most movement skills, but it doesn't prevent Distant Blade from moving you a little bit forward. And that little bit forward is just enough to probably backstab the Sork and kill him. Alright. So, let's go on to my favorite skill. The skill I hate the most in all of Terra.
You hate it, but it's your favorite?
I hate exhaust. Okay, it's called Exhausting Blow. So, cast it, and if you hit someone for the next 15 seconds, all of their skills that they use will have a 50% cooldown timer. Now, it is really good if you hit a healer with this and they don't cleanse it and they cast like Immersion or something. If they cast GS for some reason, well, that's 50% more on their cooldowns. Now, you throw this on Lancer, he casts Rallying Cry, well, that's 50% more cooldowns. So, you use this as a utility, as I've said before. Mm-hmm. This skill is really good. It's a 1 minute 30-second cooldown ability. Use it, and if they don't expect it, if they don't cleanse it, well, they blow their entire combo. They're screwed. That's just like getting plagued. Alright, so we'll go to the last skill, I guess. I think I've gone over. Oh, Overpower. Overpower, it just boosts your next ability. Use it for if you're gonna hit someone really hard, maybe Giga Combo. It also... Yeah, you can find Overpower.
Yeah, I'll have to find it in the list. There it is. There we go.
Okay, so for Overpower, how it applies, if you did Queen, MCHM, you will know if you're a Slayer. If you press Overpower and you hit the shield, it doesn't go away because Overpower ends when you do damage. So if a priest Kayas, and you can Overpower and you can break the Kayas really easily because every skill has the Overpower damage boost attached until the Kayas gone. So you can backhand overhand or something. Don't backhand overhand if they have GSL. But it'll break the shield easy. And there are 2 skills.
Of the massive amount of damage that it's doing?
Yes, because Overpower is 33. Oh wow, it's 33% damage. Used to be less, but it's 33% damage on your next attack. And if they have Kai's up, Kai's 19k, well, that's 33% more damage on your next ability, contributing to the damage. So we have 2 skills that matter less. So we have Dash. Dash is your mobility skills. 55% speed for 15 seconds. That is what you use to catch up to people, to outrun people, and to be Usain Bolt for 15 seconds. You run really fast. Yes, you run really fast. You catch up to healers. Yeah, you you have that, and then that's really it. Dash is just really is the move speed like circle. Now you have leap strike. Leap strike is it's a 3. Yeah, it's a 3-in-1 ability. It's a gap closer. It also chains and eviscerate, which conveniently knocks someone down, and it's an escape. Well, no, that's 2. Yeah, it's an escape because leap strike actually takes you 10 meters forward, and 10 meters is a lot because if you're under pressure and you headlong rush has a tendency to lock onto the person next to you. And if you headlong rush to a Lancer that's saying hello to your butt, you are in trouble. Because you'll just get stuck there and then you'll die. But if you leap strike, generally you'll escape. And it's also really good to kill people with because there's nothing worse than getting killed by leap strike. There's nothing worse than getting killed by leap strike.
Do you typically use leap strike then to close gaps, or is it just kind of a utility that you use just based on the situation, or do you typically save it to close a gap rather than escape?
Depends on how much HP do you have. If you have like 10% HP, I don't think you'd want to engage. No, yeah, it's gamble. No, but use it primarily to escape, or in this meta, you leap strike eviscerate because eviscerate's really good, as I said. So that's free knockdown.
Okay.
Let's see. What do we have?
So we have with a lot of other classes, there's a lot of animation canceling. Well, not a lot of other classes. With a couple of other classes, there's a lot of animation canceling. Is there animation canceling skills that you will use just for the sake of like movement, or like we talked about using the first auto attack to stagger, and maybe you don't have to do the second, that kind of stuff. But
okay, so for almost every skill besides eviscerate and backhand, you can cancel it. Well, for the 3 primaries, whirlwind, knockdown, strike, and hard thrust. So if you were to whirlwind, right? You see whirlwind is 1, 2. At almost any point, you can go straight to I said overhand. Well, whirlwind. At any point in whirlwind, you can either go into an eviscerate or overhand strike. So you can go like this, get the first hit, and go immediately into a knockdown, into an overhand. Or you can go whirlwind into an overhand, which is the double stagger. One tick whirlwind stagger is really good. It goes 1 overhand, and then you can go eviscerate for the knockdown.
So you usually just cancel with whatever the combo is. There's not like a block cancel, or is overhand? Do you usually?
I wish Slayers had block cancel, but no, you can. You can also cancel with dodge roll.
Okay.
You can cancel everything that has an animation with dodge roll, because dodge roll is amazing. So you can do whirlwind 1, 2, and roll away if you know you're about to get killed. You can overhand. Okay, so for knockdown strike is one of the 3 skills that I said that give you the immunity, right? So if you knockdown strike, you can cancel it into overhand, or you can knock down into eviscerate. You can knockdown cancel overhand as many times as overhand resets, or as much mana you have. So you can creep a little bit closer with the knockdown strike overhand, and you're like right there. You'll be like, "Hello, how are you?" Same thing with hard thrust. Hard thrust, you can use it. You can hard thrust into painful traps, into fire traps, which I don't recommend because fire traps hurt.
Yeah.
And to eviscerate or overhand, depending on how you want it.
So you can pretty much just cancel any skill with another skill.
You can, yes, with kick. Like, so you see this, right? So kick goes like that, right? Mm-hmm. And then you can overhand eviscerate hard thrust at that. But if you actually you can press kick, starting kick, and then immediately press your overhand button after. If you do that fast enough, or kick eviscerate, you can cancel a little bit of the animations like this, like that. So I didn't even hit the ground over here. I stopped here and I go straight into eviscerate.
Okay.
So kick, but I don't recommend doing that with kick because kick is your starter combo for hard thrust and whatnot. Let's see what else. Okay, so for combos, all right. So the basic combo for Slayers, you already did the spacebar combo: kick, hard thrust, eviscerate, spacebar, 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 the dead. Now you can do backhand eviscerate. That's a really good one. That's a stun to a knockdown for pressure. You can fury kick. Fury kick applies the healing debuff, and then it's a stagger.
and then you can heart thrust right into it. I guess you can evil if you want.
I'm a bit slow on that.
That's fine. Other than that, it's just a matter of how you cycle your skills, right? So it just depends on what you have available, how their buffs are, right? So say that they have full buffs, well, you'd want to ideally pressure them down to 60 to 80%, and then you would kill them with a combo from your teammates. Alright, so do you have any input before I go into my next thing?
No, that all sounds, it sounds like it's just going to be a lot of practice to figure out what's going to be the best thing to cancel with. Because there's a lot of, when I'm looking at when it comes down to the skills, like with kick and stuff like that, they don't have long cooldowns, but it's important to know if you have the cooldown up.
It's important to make sure you watch your cooldowns. I've learned the cooldowns, but there's sometimes when I kick and press hard thrust, and I realize hard thrust is 1 second left, so I'm looking like an idiot. But yeah. All right, so let's go into the thing that every Slayer wants to know. The most buggy piece of crap skill. Let's go. Okay, so hard thrust, right? You go like this, whiffs, right? Yeah, it stabs right in their face, but it doesn't hit. You're like, oh man, why does that happen? What is this crap? So hard thrust is a very picky skill. Depending on your race, ideally, you aim it from generally 6 meters. 6 meters and it'll hit. That is baseline for almost every race. 5 meters at the last 6 meters. Let's say 6 meters. 6 meters, 7 meters, you'll hit them. So for hard thrusts, you will want to aim at them. Just point your crosshair at them. That's really it. Just point your crosshair and you'll hit them. How about this? Tonka, why don't you duel her? Yes, duel her. Go.
Duel. All right. So we're gonna try hard thrust.
Okay, so you have her selected, right? Or you have her like crosshair. You don't have to select. Yeah. Okay, so
I can click her.
You can just aim at her general body frame, the middle, and just press hard thrust like that. Go.
Okay.
All right. See, it's not that hard. But the issue is when you kick hard thrust. For some races, I believe it Amon female, high elf male, human female, and high elf male, Baraka, before you might have to take a step forwards because of range. Ellen has a good hard thrust for kick range, and so it's good. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. So as long
as about 9 meters back.
Yeah. For Ellen, as long as you don't move, or in general, for most classes besides the one I listed, you do not want to move at all, unless the races I said where you move a little bit, because it'll mess up your hard thrust. And if you're a beginning player, you don't want to mess up your hard thrust range, because then you'll be sad and you'll wonder why you missed. There you go. That's how you do it. All right, so that's really the basics of hard thrust. Now, forfeit the duel, uncle. Uncle. / uncle.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, so the next thing is, how do you point blank hard thrust, right? Everyone asks that because everyone sees Flo or me do this amazing combo, and in the end, the healer is gasping for air on the ground, and we execute them on hard thrust, right? So
everybody's fanning their face.
Yes, everyone's like, "Oh my god, how did Flo do that?" It's like amazing. I wish I could do that. And then they do this, and they hit nothing, right? So, for the basics of hard thrust point blanking, you will want to be on them, right? And you want to, for the basics, you can hit. You want your target, your crosshair, to be in the top right near their health bar, right? So you press it, and this might miss, but it'll hit, right? It is not 100%, but if you can at least do the basics of putting your crosshair on them in the near top right of the frame. So right now I'm putting it on her 6th feather of her war bonnet. it'll hit, right? So that's what. And if they're knocked down, right, you go like that. Oh yeah, you're in the. But
sorry.
Just make it if they're on the ground, you could just hit them in the face with the hard thrust like that. But it's frontal damage if they're knocked down. All right, now Tonka, it is your turn. Go, try it.
All right, here we go. So point blank and aiming actually up and right to him, huh?
Aim for her health bar, the top right of her, near the top right of her health bar, and press hard thrust. See if you can get it.
Okay. All right.
Good job, Tonka.
I did it.
You are actually more accurate than 99% of Slayers in Terra Online.
I want to see if I can hit if I just like aim at the general body. Okay.
It's just it's as long as your body's lined up. But I use that as a general guideline because sometimes Slayers might just mess up the positioning. So that's just because you'll go with the camera, right?
Mhm.
And that's just a good way to press the hard thrust area.
Yeah. See,
No,
I missed that.
you're there. Okay, so let's go into the next point. So hard thrust, you either hit him point blank or you hit him from far. Because for Ellen, there's a dead zone from 3 meters, or 2 to 4 meters, no 5 meters. Yes, 2 to 5 meters is a dead zone for Ellen. You're not gonna hit hard thrust at all there, no matter how hard much you try. Try right now, and it's probably not gonna hit.
Oh, I hit him.
For what, 5?
Yeah, that was 5.
Oh yeah,
I'll try
5.
4.
There, 2 to 4. Go.
Okay.
I've been proved wrong. Go.
Well, with a standing target too, it's probably like because what I did is I rolled through and then I tried and I missed completely. Like that was from 3 and I didn't, and that was like right on.
So, this brings us to our next topic: Slayer races. For hard thrust, every Slayer can do the hard thrust differently. Baraka's are like 4 meters. 4 meters because their kick is like barely anything. Amon males have the shortest hard thrust, so if you want like close quarters combat with Amon for Slayer, go Amon male. Ellens have the longest. Kastanic and male, the Kastanic race as a whole, have the same dead zone as an Ellen. Amons have a dead zone of 7 meters. They can't hit from 7. Ellen can actually hit the hard thrust from 7 to almost 11 meters, depending on the conditions. Yes, you can actually hit a hard thrust from there. They missed. That's fine.
Try again.
For high elf, I guess it's not. So it's like 10 to 7. I'm wrong.
There may be like a special spot. You have to be
whatever.
at, I guess.
For what race isn't it just Ellen? Ellen is the only race. But for high elf, don't play high elf Slayer. Okay, don't play high elf Slayer if you want to compete, because high elves have a lot of messy things that make it really hard to do competitive. Pori can't hit the same dead zone as Ellen, but they have to step forward. I think of human. Okay, so for human Slayer is the same dead zone. Almost all of them have the same little dead zone as 2 to 4, because that's just how hard thrust works. It sucks.
So pretty much 2 to 4 on any Slayer. Avoid trying.
2 to 4. Try not to use it unless you're Amon, because Amon doesn't care. Amon will hit the hard thrust.
Okay. So that actually brings up, I think you might have mentioned it in there, but what class, or rather, what race do you recommend players pick when picking a Slayer?
For beginners, human male is the best race because it has the most well-rounded animations. You have a good hard thrust, good knockdown strike, good whirlwind, everything. Your roll's fine. For I guess the try-hard race, as someone puts it, I don't know, but Kastanic in general. Kastanic female has a really floaty animation with her dodge roll. The Kastanics as a whole tend to desync, but that's just how it is, and they have the passive. Ellen, well, Ellen has the longest range, and Ellen has the most costumes, so Ellen's okay. But other than that, if you're starting, do human male. If you want to be edgelord and really good, you can be Kastanic.
Edgelord.
Yeah, edgelord. A lot of people play Kastanic now. All right. What else? I don't know.
Nobody's ever said Baraka. That Baraka's
okay.
the best.
I did. Me and Flo did Baraka. Okay, and the tournament server. I dueled an Ellen Slayer on Baraka because I like to duel Slayers. I could not see the Ellen Slayer under me. I can't. It's really hard to play Baraka. You have a really hard time playing Baraka because everything about Baraka is too big. Okay, there's nothing you can do with Baraka. No amount of camera angling will save you from trying to hit an Ellen under you because I tried.
Poor Baraka.
Yeah, and Papori is just if you want to look interesting, because their dodge roll is basically they dance on their sword.
Oh, yeah. It's a very strange animation.
Yeah.
It's cool animation, but it could probably screw up a lot of people.
All right. What else? I don't know, Tonka.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We've covered a lot of good stuff. I mean, covered a
yeah.
lot of the skills and stuff. Did you want to open it up to some questions from chat?
Sure. Go. Questions. Now.
Excellent.
Damn.
People. Chat, questions. I see Flo in there.
Yeah, well, Flo.
What's Flo got to say?
I don't care what Flo has to say. All right, Flo. Any questions?
But questions, if newbie questions, experienced questions, just questions from Mudkip in general on how he decided on a Pokemon name, that kind of stuff. Ban the Baraka.
What is etching? An etching is something you apply using the etching skill. You get an etching and you apply it onto your weapon or armor, and it gives you a certain buff, like power, crit, unyielding. Okay. Next one. Who's your favorite Slayer? My favorite Slayer is Lakari, the god of Terra himself. The second coming of Christ is Lakari. He brings justice across this land and burns all of the foreign players of Terra to claim the rightful throne of Castria. Right.
Oh man, what's? Oh, but that's your favorite Slayer. I was gonna say you should probably change the name of your Felicity to.
No.
Lakari is the best.
Solid is actually the best Lancer in the game. But,
okay.
Gosh TR, please go over thrusting healers and threes. I'm not gonna say that. So in solo queue, equalized gear is actually very weak, and you can shove your sword up a healer's butt very easily, and you can kill him in 3 hits. There you go. Do I just go over every question as much as I can, or what?
No, you can pick questions. Like there's gonna be questions in there that are goofy, and you don't have to.
Yeah, that's fine. How do you think dueling with a gunner will be? There is a video on there with the best Slayer and the best gunner. I don't know how it's gonna be. I'll be killing them on May 12th or something, whenever it's out. I don't know. I'm betting. I'm guessing.
Are you gonna make another montage video of you killing?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I am going to make another video, and I hope you're ready to see 10 minutes of me killing gunners.
I'm ready.
All right. Someone asked Tonka to 1v1 should? No. Tonka's not ready to fight either. All right. Who's better, me or Flo? I am better than Flo. Flo is below me. All right.
Oh, damn.
Flo is a potato compared to me. All right.
Shoot. I might have to get, even if you guys don't get accepted into the test server, I might have to get both of you guys on the test server, and we'll do a special 1v1 stream, like best of 5 or something.
I mean, me and Flo fight a lot. We learn together, but
this would be with like 15 awakened gear.
Yeah, 15 awakened gear, credit card armor. Come at me, Flo. All right. Am I going to Skyrim Slam? I went over that. Lancer Priest. Alice dresses? Never. They're too buggy. No, thank you.
Answer questions for us.
Yeah, I'll answer that. Okay, overpower, use it when you're about to shove your sword up someone's butt. There you go. How should you open 3v3? Don't use ICB, because using ICB, like I said before, is hey guys, how are you? I'm coming for you. Yes, people remember me killing Reapers. Pop ICB after Plague. Okay, so don't use any essential skills when you're Plagued, because it's not gonna you can't cleanse Plagued and you're gonna get screwed. How do I get around Alan's crappy auto attack? Okay, so I'll go over this one. So
Hold on, let me talk. There we go.
Yeah. Alan auto attack. Yeah, I know. Alan auto attack is very slow. You're gonna get screwed. So if you ever played Monster Hunter and you use a greatsword, the gotcha bitch tactic, that's what it is, where you wait with your sword and you hit them in the face. You have to do that, because you're gonna get screwed 1v1, because someone's gonna out-combo you. Yeah, there you go. I don't know. What is my favorite? Oh wait, what's up?
I was gonna answer. There's a question in there. Somebody said like test server question mark. What is the test server?
Oh, okay.
It's the Sky. I can answer this one.
Yeah,
I got you.
okay,
you can take a breath. It's the Skyring Slam is a tournament that we're going to be doing at the end of this month, and we run on it's not necessarily a test server. It's basically a live server. It's the same as live servers, except we just modify it so players can sign in only that have been accepted into the tournament, and we provide NPCs that have specific gear, so players won't have to gear up on this server. It's only for the tournament. It's only up for usually like 2 weeks max. So, it's only for people who've been accepted into the tournament, but they get basically a playground to test like the best gear if they don't already have it. So it's kind of a cool place for players to go if they're accepted in the tournament. Anyways, go ahead.
What's my favorite warrior backstab combo? I have a video of that. The backstab auto combative into the air combo. That is the best combo I've seen yet. That deals 100% pressure, and it is certified by the god of warriors himself. There's only one god. He begins with a T and ends with an X. I'm not going to say the name. All right.
There's a lot of god players, huh?
No, this is the only person who has obtained a pair of legendary swords. I'm not going to say. All right. You might know him, Tonka, but I don't know. All right, so in what ways other classes can beat a Slayer? So the weakness with Slayer in this patch is there's none, no. But so if you roll twice, you're gonna have I have reset on. I have reset on. Okay, so you have a 4-second. Yeah, I rolled 6 times. You have a reset. You have a short window of opportunity after Slayer's done rolling. If you're a Lancer, you can leash him and murder him. If you're an Archer, and they backstab you, you can stagger, kick, murder them. If you're a Sork. What's the build? Nova is really good because if they don't know how to counter Nova, well, you just dealt 30k in the face. Reaper, you can be a Reaper and you can just play Reaper and you can be a Reaper. And that's how you beat him. Zerker, with smart blocking, you can beat a Slayer really easily. If they don't know how to maneuver around your block, you win automatically.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
Yes, I do have a YouTube channel. Let me find it. I don't even know my YouTube name. Here we go. Here you go. I'll link it in chat. You can watch from the very beginning of the Age of Mudkip. Oh wait, that's the wrong. Okay, but that's
that?
That's something. But that'll link them to me. But I have videos there about me killing people. You can find that Reaper video somewhere there. And
also, I will link your Twitch channel.
Oh yeah.
Boom. I didn't put that in the Moobot exclamation point stuff, but yeah, you can go and follow his Twitch channel as well and watch him. Are you gonna stream on launch day for you killing all the gunners?
I have I think I work that day. It's probably Tuesday, but I will make a video. I don't like streaming that because then people see what I'm doing. I'm probably gonna kill everyone there, but yeah. All right. Here's a fun question about PvE. My group's tank in ET is at Ebon Tower is stuck on the poison AOE. Can't res him. He gets killed by AOE the second he gets up. Well, you tell your healer to throw a heal at him and get good when you res him. There you go. We all suffered through that when we played pay to play Terra. The ET poison killing you, but that is how you save yourself. All right. I don't know, Tonka.
I think we've exhausted a lot of the questions from chat.
I tried my best to go over every question. I hope you're happy.
I think you did quite well.
I think I did amazing, Tonka. No, I don't know. I don't know. I think I did better than someone. No.
Whoa.
No, I'm not talking about you or Flo. It was a long time ago.
Whoa.
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 Oh, here it is.
What is this?
What?
Frogger put frogs in chat. Oh, that makes sense.
Here. That is a video of the person I'm talking about. Other than that, I don't know. Alright, what is the best combo starter? It depends on your range of engagement. If you're close to them, you can eviscerate, you can knock down into overhand, you can do anything you want to them as long as you know their cooldowns. The top way to play Terra is
cooldown cycling. If your cooldowns are up when their cooldowns are down, you can kill them then. Yes.
Nice.
Am I a huge fan of anime? Yes, I am. I love anime. Oh, Tonka watches anime, obviously.
No, not a lot. Not a lot.
Alright.
But I do watch some.
When are they gonna release the gunner? Well, I'm putting my bets in
Go
May.
ahead and take this one, Mudkip.
Yes, I'm betting that is the anniversary of Terra. And the Illuminati obviously says Steam release is coming with Terra, the gunner. So, May 12th, I'm betting. I'll bet my Ellen watered silk dress, no, not my watered silk dress, the traveling dress that is coming out that time. Oh, you missed some of the stream. What are the recommended crystals? Tonka presses the C button and he will show them to you.
Boom. Oh, that was not the C button.
T or C, I don't know.
I don't know. I listened to you too. I'm like, I'm gonna
I don't-
press the C
no.
button.
They changed it. C used to be the character. It used to be C for character, and then they changed it to P for profile.
Yeah, I like. Anyways, we won't talk about it.
Sorry.
Well, I guess I don't know. Any last questions, and then. Ooh.
Yeah, so I'll also show. We talked about it a little bit earlier. If you're interested in the crystals, it was kind of at the beginning of the stream as well. We'll highlight this whole thing. You can go back and watch it. You can even just go back and watch the past broadcast right now, and you can see that. But we talked about whether or not you wanted to use particular types of crystals. But I think what it came down to is 1, grieving, and then 3, relentless is probably best for armor. And then for weapons, it sounds like what I've got on it's probably correct as well. So I'll go through it.
Yes, it is.
Whoa. Helium? Or voice changer? Is that just part of your headset? Or do you actually have like a voice changing program on your computer?
This is Mudkip's sister, actually. I'm sorry.
I don't believe you.
I'm the one who actually plays Slayer.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Does Mudkip just kind of sit by and watch?
Yes, he does. He sits right next to me.
Is he your best friend?
We are best siblings.
Why'd you classify as siblings? That's very interesting. How long have you been playing Terra? Let's interview you, Mudkip's sister. How long have you been playing Terra?
I've been playing Terra for 1 month. I actually have another Slayer account with full VM15.
VM15. Are you cheating?
Yes, I am.
Well, would you mind letting me know what that character's name is so that I can not ban it?
Yes, I will let you know. Her name is Flororo. Or Flo.
Or Flo?
Uh,
That
okay.
name sounds familiar, so I may check that out.
Okay,
Alright.
yeah, we have any other questions?
I think that's the end of the stream. If anybody has other serious questions for Mudkip or Mudkip's sister, since Mudkip's sister has VM15, probably knows the gear progression pretty well. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to ask them in chat. If not, we'll let this stream die as it should.
You're mean. Oh yeah, NFA is the best guild. We aren't recruiting, but we are at the top of every PvP leaderboard. Thank you. I don't have any other questions, I guess.
You're welcome. All right. That's going to do it for the stream. Thank you, Mudkip, for coming by, and Mudkip's sister for providing some information near the end of the stream. I'm going to go ban this Flororo character. Don't know who that is, but we're going to take him down. But that'll do it for the stream.
right.
Thanks for dropping by. Do you have any last words? Any shout-outs?
I'd like to thank Lakari for allowing me to make Flo's donation button sound or subscription sound. Other than that, I don't know.
Okay. Well,
Thanks
thank you
for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming on and sharing your Slayer wisdom. Hopefully we see you in Skyring Slam.
All right. I hope I don't get murdered in the first round. That's all I hope.
All right. Thanks for coming on.
Tonka.
Bye.